Hello everyone, this is Rick and welcome to Astral Club. This video is my mission, teaching astral projection. Before we get into that, just want to mention anyone interested in joining and supporting Astral Club on Patreon, you get no commercial, advanced videos every week. And we can talk back and forth a lot easier using Patreon. And there's a link in the description if you're interested. Anybody interested in private lessons with me to help you get over that astral projection barrier or improve your current astral projection control, you'll find an email in the description where I can send you some more information. My mission, teaching astral projection. My entire life, astral projection has played a very major part. It's just been a part of who I am. When I became an adult, I started to teach it. I taught at a summer in college. They had this fair where they would invite a variety of people to come. I would teach private lessons. But when my daughter was born, I got more into business. I continued to astral project, but I allowed it to take a back seat. But I'm now retired, and for the remainder of my life on this planet, I am devoting primarily to helping others to astral project, talking about astral projection, explaining the rules and the laws and the ins and the outs. And I like to think in my own microscopic, minuscule, subatomic particle way, I'm helping to push mankind's forward path just a little more along the way. However, every now and again, I get a number of requests that come my way. And I think it may be some fundamental misunderstanding of what precisely I can do or the nature of astral projection. And I'm always very sympathetic to these requests. But I want to talk about some of the things that I've been asked to do that are just beyond my capabilities. And I'd like to be able to get that information out there so that some people perhaps can get a little bit of a better understanding of what's within my purview here, outside of my general mission of teaching astral projection. I remember I had one Indian gentleman who contacted me quite a while back. And I felt badly for him because apparently he told me in a long story that he had neglected to marry a particular woman some 20 years or so ago, and that his life had taken a turn that he didn't like, that he felt his life's path had become profoundly ruined because of his decision not to marry this particular woman. So, after telling me this entire tale, he asked me and promised to pay up front thousands of US dollars if I could promise him that I could travel back into the past and correct this error for him, get him to marry this particular woman. Of course, I felt badly for him because the emotion was just oozing out of the words that he had written. I could tell this was a suffering soul here. And I really wish that there was something I could do to help him. But I had to respond, please keep your money. I'm sorry that you feel your life has taken a turn for the worse, but the decision has been made. This past cannot be changed. Certainly not with astral projection, not in my experience. And that my advice for what little it's worth is to try to move on with your life in the here and the now and to try to make it better rather than looking backwards as to how you could somehow fix what you conceive as an old mistake. Now, let me add a quick caveat. I know there are reality shifters out there that hold that, yes, it might be possible. All you have to do is use some amount of energy and will yourself to some other earth where you did marry this woman. Well, my problem with that is the people who say that's possible are sitting here in our particular dimension and they've never left it. They say it's possible. They say others have done it, but those others who may have done it have never returned to recount their true success, i.e., permanently shifting to an alternate universe. So all I can do is just put a giant asterisk next to that particular claim, because in my experience with astral projection, going back to the past, yes, I probably could have arranged to help him go back into the past as a disembodied spirit and watch himself make the same, what he would consider, mistake again by not marrying this woman. But I don't think that's what he was looking to pay thousands of dollars for. That, quite frankly, sounds to me like another version of hell. But that's an example of something that has been asked of me that is beyond my ability. Another one that comes up in too frequent a manner is heart-crushing requests for help and healing. I recall a person who was suffering from cancer, and she contacted me asking for healing help to heal her of this awful disease. Now, there is a possibility that some diseases occur because there's some sort of blockage that happens in an energy center associated with the astral that then leads to actual physical disease. By the time we detect things here on the physical plane, the physical disease has already taken hold. So it's a lot like closing the door of the horse's stall long after he's galloped away. It's useless at that stage of the game. What this person needs, and what all people need with physical diseases, is treatment by medical professionals. And what really bothers me is when I've heard stories about people who have paid hundreds or thousands of dollars to charlatans who claim abilities to heal despite the fact they've never been to any kind of medical school, and take money from these people. And I think that's awful enough. But what really bothers me is I wonder, are these people not seeking actual medical attention because they have faith in this particular healing pastor or some scam artist on the internet, or God forbid, someone like me with a channel on YouTube who claims that he can do something like this and will take your hard-earned money in exchange. I am not a physical healer. I didn't go to medical school. If you're suffering from an illness, see a medical professional. Once the disease is all healed up and you've been seen, I can perhaps offer you some meditative help and teach you how to keep your energy chakras clear so that nothing more, or at least, to decrease the possibility of future problems. But that can only be done once the physical illness is cured by a medical professional. The next one, luckily, I don't get very often. I've only had it once or twice. Somebody asking me to grant them some manner of superpower. Uh, yeah, I'm not from Krypton and I don't have the ability to grant people any special powers. I mean, unless you consider learning how to astral project a superpower, then sure. But that's not what we're talking about here, unfortunately. So that's beyond my capability as well. Next up, there's one thing that I'm not afraid to say, and that is I don't know. I've had a lot of experiences on the astral plane. I've gone a lot of places in space, in time, various dimensions. In these thousands of projections, I've learned quite a bit. I have talked with entities. I have associated with certain groups of entities, and I've learned a lot. However, I am extremely far, light years away, far, of knowing everything. I have my tiny bit of knowledge, and I'll share it in the best way that I can, but I don't know everything. And I am, ask questions that are profound questions. Someone might say, "Oh, could you tell me what my purpose here is on Earth?" Or even, what the purpose is of life in our universe. And some of these greater questions I might have theories on, but I don't have some sort of pipeline, universal pipeline that gives me the all knowledge. And some people think the Akashic records are just this easy library that you can access whenever you like and easily gain all the knowledge you want. The Akashic records is a very decent record of what has occurred in a wide variety of universes and dimensions. However, when you're looking forward, what it shows is an infinite amount of possibilities. Now, I'm sure perhaps a being with much more super intelligence than I have could make better use of this type of information, but quite frankly, it's a lot more information than I know how to handle. And sometimes too much information is about as bad, or perhaps even worse, than having too little information. Now, the next question coming up came just recently. And this Astral Club member noted that I don't seem to talk about God a lot in my astral projections or at all. And I guess I was a little surprised by that question. When I astral project, I'm on a mission to do something that I have decided to do or for some other purpose. But it never occurs to me, and it has never occurred to me, that such a contact would even be possible. And if so, would it even be conceivable to someone like me? I look at it this way, and I know there are people who disagree. There are people who have taken gods going back to the ancient world on up today when we tend to have a lot fewer of them, uh, and anthropomorphize them. They humanize them. You know, the ancient Greeks had a wide variety of gods who were assigned various responsibilities. And it's something that played a part in quite a bit of human religion. And to this day, people call God their father. I personally think that's just a way for humans to try to take something that is infinitely beyond their capacity to understand and shrink it down to something they can identify. So God isn't some unknowable force. He's an old guy who kind of looks like Santa Claus without the extra weight and the suit. Uh, and I don't understand. Has anyone ever had a picture? How do they know? It's. I don't want to make fun. It's just I think we're if there is a presence out there that one can identify as an intelligent creator of all that there is, I sincerely doubt we could truly understand such a creature. I just don't think that would be possible. To me, it reminds me of there's ants, I'm sure, in my backyard. I am sure many of them have never seen me. And the ones that have no conception of what I am in any way, shape, or form in reality. Certainly, a human like myself, compared to an infinite intelligence, would be roughly the same situation. And perhaps making myself the ant in that equation is giving myself way too much credit. Perhaps I'm more like an amoeba in this situation. Does that mean there is a God, or there isn't some sort of God, or there is an intelligence, or there isn't one, or there is one? I don't know. I don't think it's my business to seek it out, because what would I say? I don't even ask for an audience with the President of the United States, who would be infinitely lower in the supreme chain than the creator of all. And if I'm not going to try to request a presence with another human who happens to head up one particular country on a planet, why should I think that I have the capacity or the gall to try to summon up the universal all presence? And even if I did, what makes me think that I could possibly comprehend all that would encompass? I try to stay in my own lane. Now, I have read stories on Reddit where people believe that they've had encounters with some sort of divinity or other, and I'm not going to judge their stories because they're not my experience, and it's not my place to question their experiences. However, as I said before, I have my doubts that humans could truly understand the nature, much less have a conversation with a being that would exist on that level. At any rate, to sum it up, I'm here to help people to learn to astral project, to increase their astral projections, to take better advantage of their astral projections by extending them, allowing them the benefit of my experiences, what I've done well, where I made mistakes, so that they don't have to make those same mistakes, and that they can learn from what I've learned, and to progress forward in their astral projection journey in a much more rapid way than I was able to progress. That's my mission. That's what I'm here to accomplish. And For everyone else, I have sympathy for your needs. I really do. But I feel I must stay in my lane and not try to take on abilities or claim abilities that are not mine to claim or to give. If you like this video, please hit the like button, share it with those of like mind, subscribe if you haven't already. Please offer me your questions and your comments on this particular video. And as always, I'm just Rick, and I will see you on the astral plane.